Welcome to MediaCom Stadium. It's the home opener of the Des Moines Menace and US League Two play between the Des Moines Menace and the Santafé Wanderers. Welcome into the booth. I'm Henry Gonzalez, joined by my colleague Kellen Toach. And Kellen, it is finally a fresh start to the season. US League Two soccer is here.
It is, finally, and after a fantastic friendly matchup last week, we saw what the Menace are putting out this year, and Coach Latshaw talked about a new squad coming in. He thinks that this is a year that they're going to be able to make a push, restructured the roster, and finally, opening night, you couldn't ask for better weather, couldn't ask for a better crowd, fan base, and we're looking forward to some soccer.
And it's a tale of new homes and new beginnings for both teams. First for Santa Fe, it is their second year in the league, but a new home in Olathe. And, of course, the Des Moines Menace first season in MediaCom Stadium. It is a special night here.
It is. It's the 5-1-5 night, opening night for this Menace team, and they're welcoming in a new team to the USL 2 League that is from Olathe, Kansas, like you mentioned, and a great opportunity for them to face a Menace team who causes a lot of havoc in this league for soccer, and a great opportunity for the Menace to showcase what they're looking forward to putting on for this 2026 season.
Absolutely. Both teams walking out, and will surely begin off Great Plains Division League play. First game already started last week, Peoria City getting ahead of FC Ambush, but now this is finally the first time for the entire league to set the tone, and for the Menace, that's picking up where they left off of last year's success. Yeah,
last year's success was nothing to shy at, falling short in the playoffs, and like I mentioned, Latshaw believes what they went out to go get, local talent and familiar talent. They think that this is a season that there's going to be one to remember and that they can make a deep run. And why not showcase that to a 5-1-5 crowd here tonight on a beautiful Friday?
Absolutely. Des Moines Menace has been in existence since '94. Santa Fe has been in existence since 1995. They transitioned to USL 2 last season. Now this season, hoping to build off last year.
Yeah, well, they just now joined the league, like you mentioned. It took them a while, but it's a great story from what they have done with this program. It's an immigrant-based team that mostly is immigrant players, but when you look at what Colin Flores has done for this team, they started off roughly last year 0-4, but then finished 4-1-3 in the last 7, and they have a new home venue in Olathe, Kansas, the Pioneer Stadium. And then obviously a key player that we're going to see a lot of for them tonight is Kundalini Dominic, the forward. He led with 3 goals last season, led the team, and he was one of the pivotal players that not only helped them get out of the 0-4 slump, but in the last 7 games get above a 500 record.
Absolutely. And then on the other side, we'd like to keep things simple, and winning's no different. It's time for the Keep It Simple Keys to the Match presented by Simple Lending, official partner of the Des Moines Menace. And for the Menace is picking up where they left off of last game, an absolute drubbing of Capital City FC. What are your keys to the game?
Well, that's a good point, and we're going to start it off for the 5-1-5. Like I've mentioned quite a few times already, they're playing in a brand new stadium. It is technically their second time playing, as we had the friendly matchup last week, but now you're playing your first season game in front of a great home crowd, so you want to protect this stadium, protect the fan base, and most importantly, the city. Then we get into control the middle. Such a great job we saw in the friendly matchup from the Menace midfielders. They did such a good job of demanding the pace of the game, finding good spots to take shots, and really having a great job with assists and steals. And then finally, leave them stranded. The Wanderers have a pretty good back line, and they have a couple good defenders. So you want to leave the Wanderers wandering around, kind of clueless to what they need to do, and that is what can propose a good win for the Menace tonight.
Absolutely. A great win would do numbers for this crowd here. Great energy. It's the home opener in Des Moines at MediaCom Stadium, and we'll have starting lineups when we get back. Friday night football action here from MediaCom Stadium, just teams getting set, and now now it's time to take a look at the starting lineup, brought to you by Capelli Sport, the official exclusive uniform, apparel, and equipment provider of the Des Moines Menace. And for the Santafé Wanderers starting 11, number 11 stands out.
Yeah, definitely. Kundalini Dominic. He is a player that you're going to see a lot. Led the team last season, 3 goals. Obviously a team that started off really slow, 0-4, but then built themselves up to finishing above 500. Keep an eye on him. Really going to cause some havoc at the center of the field, and definitely is going to be someone that Coach Latshaw is really going to have to contain early and towards the end of the game.
Yeah, Coach Latshaw has himself a good starting 11 himself, and pretty similar to the friendly, and one name that stands out is Eben McIntyre.
Yeah, McIntyre. I couldn't speak more highly of him last game. Although it was a friendly matchup, he did not take it that way. He dominated throughout the game. He had 2 goals, multiple assists from on the sidelines, and quite a few steals to add to his game as well, and also played pretty good defense considering the Roots were a new team that didn't really have an identity offensively. But the Menace are putting out a roster that Coach Latshaw believes is better than last season and thinks that they can make a deeper run this offseason. And the Des Moines crowd here in the 515 area is going to see what this Menace squad is all about this season.
2 teams so influential to their season and to their city, rather, and the fan base now starting to get into it as we're getting set for the starting kick, and you just can't say enough about this crowd. I mean, this team, the city, so interwoven with each other, and the same can be said about Santafé.
You can, really, and the crowd obviously is really into this game. So many little kids walking around with jerseys, and quite a few of those little kids have now transitioned to playing on this field. It shows how great this Des Moines area does it, getting kids into the right locations, following the right leaders, and then now they're playing pro soccer at the ripe age of college players and recently graduated, trying to prove themselves that they can move up to play at the professional level in the MLS league. And same for Santa Fe. I mean, you look at their transition from a small immigrant-based community team that played on Friday nights. Now they are in a very competitive league against teams like the Menace, who are really contending every season. So you couldn't speak more highly of these two teams, and you're going to really see both of them go all out in this first game of the season.
Ball placed at center field. The Des Moines Menace in the red and black striped kits today, and the Wanderers in the red with black stripe in the center, and the starting kick underway for this Great Plains Division matchup. It's the start of league play. It's like Ramos give it back to his keeper. And for Santa Fe, as we mentioned before, a team that did not get off to a great start last season in their first year in USL League 2. And what are you hoping from them to get off to a good start, not to just this season, but for this game?
Yeah, well, for the Wanderers, obviously you mentioned the 0-4 start. What they really need to do is survive the early Menace pressure. Time and time again, the Menace, with their midfielders and their forwards, they really pressure teams defensively and the back line. So I want to see the Wanderers really press and put some pressure on the Menace early. And then they also need to capitalize on counterattacks. When you saw what the Menace did last year, that is why they fell short in the playoffs. They were not able to capitalize on counterattacks. But if a team can do the opposite and do that to them, they're going to have a shot. And then finally, you got to handle road atmosphere. I mean, this is a tough league. It's a new stadium, so obviously they've never played in it before, and the Menace are going to capitalize on having a loud and a new stadium to work with.
Schaefer leaves it out, but on some chippiness out there on the end line. Already getting physical, just under 2 minutes to play, and the referee nipping that in the bud. Love to see the early intensity from both squads.
You do, and that shows that this is an opportunity for this Santa Fe squad to kind of prove what they have. Obviously, we know how their season ended last year and the right trajectory, but you get a fresh slate now, starting at 0-0, and you're opening with one of the best teams in your respected division who already has 11 division titles, and they're trying to go for their 12th this season. So what better way come in and ruin the start of their season in front of their home crowd?
Stalasic sends it wide, and Dominique couldn't get it under his grasp, and then we'll have a throw in. McIntyre tells it near the center line. Traffic and Dominique will get pressured, and another throw in. Looks like the sun's starting to peek through a little bit. It was quite gray just 5 minutes ago. Looked like the storms in the area were going to catch up to us.
Yeah, we were talking pregame about hopefully it doesn't rain, but the cloud cover for us up here in the press box does help cool things off a little.
And surely cools things off. And this is a huge decision as the official points to the box. An early penalty.
We're going to get another great look at it here very early. We're going to see the throw in. Obviously, Santa Fe is going to be aggressive. They're already down in the Menace territory, but like you mentioned, a very interesting decision here early.
Michael Lennis fouled hard.
Yeah, Lennis is going to have...
It looked to be McDade with the penalty, and could prove to be very consequential early on. Just 4 minutes elapsed in this match.
Yeah, this could be very costly. Like you mentioned, only 4 minutes into this match. And Lennis's penalty is going to put, obviously, the star of this team, Gundolini Dominic. He had 3 goals last season, and he led the team. And he gets an opportunity here early to
Barry at the back line. Menace goes to his left, and Santafé on the board early off the penalty.
You want to talk about a quick and aggressive start. 5 minutes in, already 1-0, and that immediately shut down this crowd. Another great look at it here. And that was Menace. Goes left, and that even fooled Jamie Berry. And just like that, how quickly you can get some momentum on your side.
And this crowd is silenced off of the 4-minute goal off of Michael Menace. And talk about a start.
I mean, you want to talk about coming out swinging. That was amazing. I mean, you capitalized on counter. They are handling the road atmosphere. Usually in the early parts of a game, you've got to kind of get settled in, figure out the environment you're playing, and learn about the team you're playing. But Michael Menace said no. And the little thing about Menace, he did play for Sporting Kansas City. He had a little bit of experience with them, one of the older players, and that showed early.
At the Sporting has many academies throughout the city, and they're very good at producing quality talent out of the Kansas City area.
Absolutely.
And now quickly up 1-0. Taking a hard touch there was Hagen. Moriera asking for it, but couldn't get it, and now Ravelli will control it. Menace seemed to have picked up the pace after quickly conceding a goal.
They have, and there's kind of a demand with that, but I'm very shocked with how fast and out the gates this Wanderers team is playing.
Now off the counterattack, and a nice play there by Czech, and now Moriera will take it up. We'll find Howard off the right flank, crossing it in, and mistiming. That was Diaz. He'll send it back. Moriera tripped up, and a nice tackle by the Santafé.
Yeah, Moriera has already had 2 opportunities in the past minute and a half to get a shot off, but something about this Santa Fe team, they have a pretty good back line. They run the same defense that the Menace run, a 4-3-3, and their back line has done a fantastic job of not surrendering any ground or shot opportunities.
Nice 1-2, Schaefer to Ravelli. Ravelli crossing it in and couldn't find Hagen waiting on the left side, and the Menace regroup. Early action here, both teams coming out the gate quite aggressive.
Yeah, the Menace, they need to just settle back in here. Obviously, they got off to a start that they want to take back, but you can't do that. This is the season, so whatever happens stands. A lot of time left. I'd like to see them get McIntyre and Schaefer involved a little bit more. They've been very quiet here early, but Coach Latshaw has plenty of experience in these moments.
Wilcox. Dominique. Nice pass. Find Angel. Angel's cross. Slightly intercepted by Diaz. And they'll kick it out, and we'll have our first corner for Santa Fe.
Well, that's a good job by Diaz. Full retreat, and he's a midfielder, so he really had to pick up the pace to intercept that one.
Munoz.
But again, I mean, you already have 2 possessions inside of deep territory now. Can they capitalize again?
Munoz will take the corner. We'll send it on the far side, and a nice catch by Jamie Berry.
Barry's going to be busy. If this is the way that this game's going to go, obviously you would not want anybody else in the net for the Menace. And he had 5 saves in the friendly matchup versus the Capital City Roots. So obviously they didn't have too many shots, but, 0 for 5, that's a stat that you still hold your head high on and you carry that momentum.
Hagen working off the left side and mistiming that pass intended for Diaz. Young. Send it back. Intercepted. Now Howard, potentially dangerous opportunity. And a nice tackle. Just putting his foot out there.
Yeah, Howard, another player in the friendly matchup that was able to snag a goal towards the end of the game. He had that nice headbutt in from the assist from Schaefer. Obviously, the Santa Fe is doing a really good job of protecting the wings so far, and they're not really letting anything get outside. If anything, they're getting inside. But again, that back line just does such a phenomenal job of limiting shots and intercepting passes.
Rodriguez cross intercepted. Hard challenge. Now Santa Fe on the attack. Dominique. Give it away to Chrisman. Chrisman bends it right towards Barry. No trouble for the Irish native.
Well, good job by Barry. Obviously, one got through earlier, but that's a tougher one. Good job settling back in. He's got 2 saves. And the Menace are moving the ball very efficiently, but they just can't find that right angle or gap that they can pursue against this really tight back line that I'm going to continue to highlight throughout this broadcast because they could be a pivotal reason that this Santa Fe team has a chance to snag a win in week 1.
And Charlie Latshaw can't be too happy, as he stated that he wanted to concede fewer than 10 goals this season after allowing 15 and already just 9 to work with for the rest of the year.
Yeah, setting yourself up on standards, obviously a long way to go, but he's only got 9 to work with and insurance-wise.
And nice defense as Des Moines' back line forced Antonio Mojica to just take it through the end line. Not sure what was going, probably panicking.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're glad that he made a mistake because I was kind of confused. He kept dribbling his pass and dribbling, and then he's out of bounds. I'm like, we got to take a shot at some point, but you'll take any turnovers that you can get, especially when you're down inside the penalty box and your goalie's already had 3 shots on him tonight, 1 through.
Perhaps confusing the white line with the yellow line.
Possibly.
As this is a shared multi-purpose stadium, as is a Drake and Des Moines Public Schools partnership, and now a Des Moines Menace partnership. Santa Fe throw in. Supporters enraged by that call.
Yeah, Cade Hagen was the guilty one. He was involved in that over there, but it didn't go his way. But there he gets a steal, makes up for his mistake.
Howard gets fouled. And referee not allowing any nonsense to continue.
Well, like
This
you
will be a
mentioned
free
when
kick.
we start, it's already aggressive as all get out. I mean, that's like 4 little scuffles we've had. But granted, Santa Fe is the one that's initiating everything, but they've got enough to back up with.
Now the captain will take this free kick from a considerably promising area on the field, just near the touch line. And Schaefer's kick is redirected away. And a nice tackle, but still maintaining possession. Mojica hounded by Moriera, and a nice 2-handed grab by Barry.
Well, it was still a good one-on-one. I mean, he really battled all the way down the sideline. A good job by Barry staying locked in because he had another player to keep an eye on if there was a pass back across the field. But the defense has really been efficient so far for the Menace. They haven't really given up anything. Obviously, a penalty shot, you're not really going to count that against your defense. But both of these teams have been pretty equally matched. Santa Fe's just capitalized on the little things, and the little things really win you the big games.
Intended for McIntyre, but Young will kick it out. Throw in for the Menace. And 15 minutes elapsed in this match. The Wanderers up 1-0 and a turnover. Ravelli doing a nice job to play keep away, and the Menace try again.
Yeah, Ravelli's already been busy on this left side. He's going to have a long night if Santa Fe is going to be on this offensive, really. I mean, they've been on defense for a little bit, but they have had more of an offensive play in this game so far. And that's a good job by Coach Flores. I mean, they came ready to play, and you can tell, I mean, this back line has not surrendered anything. And that's a kudos to them in their preparation.
Check, sends it. McIntyre trying to catch up to it, and he will not. Early on, you're sensing that the Menace are controlling the tempo of the game, but Santa Fe counterattacks have proved to be effective getting on the board.
They have been, and it's kind of an interesting strategy when you're relying on counterattack, especially in soccer. But, I mean, when you're taking advantage, like I said, the small things, you go 1-for-1 in the penalty box, and then obviously you've had a couple steals and your back line is playing efficient defense. You can't be mad with those results, and we're only 16 minutes in. But the Menace have controlled the tempo, but the offense has been all through Santa Fe. I mean, we haven't really seen much action from the offense for the Menace, especially the players we highlighted earlier in the game.
And Barry way out of his box. He'll retreat safely after giving it away to Schaefer. Could have been very dangerous. Nice job by the Menace to keep it in. McDade. Hard foul.
That one's going to come back and get Raphael Kistman. So he's another player that has been with this squad. Another great look at it here. Menace just trying to push the ball upfield. Gets a little over aggressive and a trip, so obviously the Menace gets set up. But Kistman, he plays for the Kansas City Blues as well, so that's a smaller affiliate team for Sporting Kansas City. But like you mentioned, there's a lot of players that play on this team that work with or have association with Sporting Kansas City. So Santa Fe, a lot of experience on this roster.
Nice save by Ijimaru.
What a save indeed. Philip Ijimaru, one of the veteran players on this team. Here's another great look at it here by our camera crew. Menace doing what they always do, attacking outside, working back in. That's a great headbutt, but an even better stop by Ijimaru. And you know, he's a player, one of the more veteran guys on this team, plays for the Kansas City Comets, has a little bit of experience with Sporting Kansas City, but you don't want anybody else back there in the net.
Yeah, that came off the foot of Hagen, and Ijimaru wears the captain's band while in the net. It's not something you see too often, but it does happen occasionally. But at 26 years of age, provides plenty of experience.
I would say yes, and he's very active, moving back and forth with the Ruse and Santa Fe, so he has a lot of experience even at the highest level. And keep in mind, 26 is still very young for soccer, so you know, having a goalie that is a captain and has this much experience, you couldn't ask for more, especially for Coach Flores.
it away and mistiming it for a Menace throw in. Again, Santafé up 1-0 after penalty kick in the 4th minute of this game. And now, as it stands, the Wanderers with 3 points to start out the season. Again, things can change drastically. Still 70 minutes plus added time left.
You've got plenty of time to work with, and you know, so far one of the keys to the game for the Menace was controlling that middle, and they've done a pretty good job of that so far. Obviously, Santafé has done a good job of capitalizing whenever they're in the Menace territory. But controlling the middle was really key for this team because they've got a lot of experience for their midfielder positions, but so does Santafé, so maintaining that dominance is only going to make you better.
And McIntyre gets fouled. Mortier working for it. Kicks it out. Referee letting them play on until Dominique will foul check.
That was a bit of a scuffle there. They just kept rolling on the ground. I was waiting for something to be called. But here's an opportunity for the Menace, so you've got to capitalize on these moments, especially when you're down early. But a team of this caliber, you know, like Coach Latshaw mentioned, this team will make a run. He believes this is a team that they've gotten the right players.
Now it's time for the Keeping It Simple, or tonight's match is brought to you by Simple Lending, where smarter financial solutions help you take control and move forward with confidence.
I'm sure the Menace would like to move forward with confidence here. Obviously, they're in a position they're not used to being in, but opportunity to capitalize.
Oriera bends it in and misses, and possibly everyone in the box.
I mean, Moriera, we've seen 3 opportunities for him alone tonight. 2 missed shots on Ijimadu. I mean, the Menace have done a good job of getting the opportunities. They're just not capitalizing. And I mean, the Wanderers are doing a fantastic job. I was expecting them to come out and propose some sort of threat, but right now, 21 minutes through, they're looking like the team with the most experience.
Howard challenged too aggressively, and another free kick from the Menace.
Howard and Ramos, they have been at it. I've kind of been keeping an eye on Howard. He's been really chipping away at a couple players this game, a couple slide tackle attempts, and obviously there, that sets them up, again, opposite side of the field for another kick. And you want to make sure this one obviously doesn't curl out of the way of your entire unit down there, but can this Santafé lineup hold down in the back line?
Schaefer and Ijimadu, two-handed punch. Now here comes Santafé. Nice interception by Czech. Czech, give it to Hagen. Hagen trying to keep it under grass and battling Ijimadu and kicking it out of bounds for a corner.
Well, Ijimadu obviously had the great save, and then 30 seconds later, it's back on track. Another great look at it here. He's going to want this one back. Right when he fell there, he did a great job of getting his hand on the ball. And Ramos was also there as well. If Ramos was not in that position, there could have been an opportunity for Hagen to capitalize. But here's another corner kick. Santafé capitalized on one earlier.
Schaefer will take it. Headed away. Diaz, kick, comes back, and now a really impressive tackle to keep the counterattack at bay.
Yeah, well, Alcides Diaz, and obviously we've seen him quite a few times early Antonio Mujica getting at it. Been a lot of chippiness so far in this game. Very physical.
Very physical matchup indeed. Both teams wanting to start off the season right with 3 points. Stoklatzik, give it to Mujica. Munoz. And a nice, brilliant save from Barry. A nice strike from Chrisman, and Chrisman still battling for the ball off the rebound. Give it to Dominique. And sending it out of harm's way was Czech. Possibly the best opportunity of the game.
Especially for Santa Fe, but how about Jamie Berry? I mean, on his knees, you're only about 5 feet away, and that ball is coming in hot, and he did such a great job of sticking through with it, and that was another opportunity that the Wanderers could have really jumped ahead 2-0 possibly, but this Menace team is not letting any more of the foolishness and silly mistakes get to them, and so far they've been pretty even since that goal, already 26 minutes through. But you'd like to see them find a way to attack the middle gaps of the back line of this Santa Fe defense.
Check hounded and ball taken away. Munoz tried to give it to Lennis, but it's timed play. Howard takes a touch and is fouled. Howard visibly upset.
And Howard's been very involved with quite a few fouls already.
And I think he's telling the officials might start to see some cards handed out.
Yeah, start taking a look, and we're going to take a look at this great block by Jamie Berry. I mean, look at how 5 feet away. I am sure that I would never have the confidence to be that close. What a stop, and that's going to possibly be a moment we look back at halftime or at the end of the game where the Wanderers could have went ahead 2-0, or that was what saved the Menace.
Absolutely. Keeps it a 2-0 game, and on cue, as we mentioned earlier, the first card being delivered. It was only a matter of time, and Carson Wilcox, the guilty party.
Yeah, Dante Ramos was in on that one for Santa Fe as well. But when you look at the Menace, again, they've had multiple penalty kicks, couple corner kicks. At some point, you have to capitalize on these because you're only going to get so much to where the coaching staff of the other team's going to switch something up or tell a player to change what he's doing.
This is possibly the best opportunity of the day so far. McDade to the right. Again, two people possibly taking it. Looks to be Diaz or McDade. Be McDade looking for Howard and just missing the touch, but it'll still be a corner for the Menace.
Well, this was a fantastic kick. And Howard, Howard's going to want this one back. This couldn't have been set up any better. Man, he was right there for it. He knows it too, but the Menace do get to maintain possession of the ball. And another corner kick, this time on the right side.
Schaefer sends it in, misses everybody. Diaz asking for a hand. Referee does not award one.
I can't tell you how impressed I am at this Santa Fe back line. I mean, they are not letting anything through, and that might be a kudos to Coach Flores as well. But for Philip Ijimadu sitting in the back of the net, I mean, this back line and him are working tightly together as we have somebody down.
Yeah, quite a bit of pain. Not see it at first glance, but looked to be like Andrew Czech in tears.
I didn't see.
I hate to speculate, but it did seem rather quick.
Yeah, sometimes, and it looked to possibly be a non-contact too. Those are the worst injuries that you see in any sport. Sometimes, believe it or not, contact injuries are, it's hard to even say better, but a better outcome rather than non-contact. But thankfully he's able to get up here, but let's see if he can make his way off the field. It's good to see him walk off, though. You never want to see them not be able to get up with their own power.
Does still look visibly frustrated, not allowing really anyone to see his face, hiding his emotions, and will likely come out of this match and we'll likely have someone come in at the center table to check in, and we will, as Theo Drennan, the Virginia native, will enter the matchup. And really unfortunate injury to have, you know, just 30 minutes underway and the season really just starting. Hate to see something like that.
You really do, and you know, it sucks to see stuff like that. And fortunately, they have Drennan, who is a player that has a lot of experience, and he can step in when needed. But it's very hard to replace a player of that caliber and just throw them into the lineup. But nonetheless, the Menace have to continue on and find a way to get the first goal of the night.
Drennan substituted in, was hounded. Now Dominique taking control. Mistiming it and sending it back to Dominique was Menace. Schaefer. Diaz fouled. And Menace hoping to slow it down a bit. Seems like they try and find their tempo, but Santafé doing a really good job of pressuring and speeding them up.
Yeah, well, the Menace are really, you could tell they're in a high-stress moment. Obviously, they got off to a bad start. One of your key players goes down. Now you've got a new player in that, obviously, he's got experience in practice and playing, but it's hard to replicate what you want to do when you're missing a key piece. So they're going to have to reevaluate here and try and find something that they can go at with Santafé, who's not giving an inch.
And it helps that for Drennan, he started in last week's friendly against Capital City. It's a 5-0 win over the UPSL team. Santafé with control now. Chrisman up the middle. Dominique one-on-one and a brilliant save, but offside, regardless of the outcome.
Well, regardless of the outcome, I thought that Kundalini Dominique was going to run away with this one. Obviously an offside, but he was about to add on to his goal count for this Santafé team. Another great look at it.
Again, clearly mistiming his run.
Exactly. That looked like a design play. Kissman had it all set up, and Dominique just got a little too aggressive. But nonetheless, that is kind of what they've been doing so far. And that's what they're known for offensively, is get the ball to Dominique any way possible, and he will set you up in the right path. But Jamie Berry has been the saving prayer that the Menace have needed so far this game.
Again, Berry has been tested early in the 4th minute as Santafé was awarded a penalty. Now here comes Howard. Howard's kick off the toe of Duarte Munoz and now, or Ramos. And now another corner for the Menace.
And that's another miss by Howard, but an even better job by Ramos. And another corner kick from the right side. And from the friendly matchup against Capital City, both sides favored the Menace from the left or right corner. But they just need to find a corner and find a way to get one in the net.
And directly at Ijimadu. Madu's kick is sent way high, and Barry with a critical error. And Kissman will send it in for the second goal of the match.
Well, Barry's been playing with fire this whole game. I mean, he's coming up all the way to the 20-yard line. And sometimes when you do that, experienced players on good teams, especially Kissman, who has played for the Kansas City Roos and has been with this club for 2 seasons, they're going to notice stuff like that. And you want to talk about surviving early pressure. How about putting pressure on a team that knows how to battle pressure? I mean, once this got past Barry, I mean, he took his sweet time, nice little tap in, and I could not be more impressed with how this Santa Fe Wanderers club has come out. I mean, they have completely silenced this crowd, who is, for many of them, their first time in this stadium. But wow.
A costly mistake in the 35th minute. And Des Moines is silenced. This Kansas City club has come in to MediaCom Stadium and quickly now up 2-0. How will the Menace respond? And another turnover. The miscues keep building up. Drennan. McIntyre. Foul. McDade fouled hard.
One of the keys to the game for the Menace was controlling the middle. At first, they started off pretty evenly, but Santa Fe is controlling the middle and the back end. I mean, they have complete dominance over both of those areas, and now they have control of the Menace territory as well, their own territory, and Jamie Berry is really going to want that other goal back.
McDade will send it. No one can get a hold of it, and just kicking it away. Outstanding defensive play by Ustin Angel.
Well, Ijimadu did a great job going up to break this one up. Great kick. Couldn't have put it in a better spot, and oh man, that was a tumble down for Jace Berger. But another kick here from Schaefer.
Schaefer hounding Young off the side, or Lennis rather.
Yeah, Schaefer, the captain, I have not heard much of his name tonight. I mean, we're going to circle back and look at this back end for this Wanderers team. I mean, I can't say enough. I mean, they're breaking up every single corner kick, penalty kick, or pass. I mean, they are just continuing to just put pressure on the Menace.
And again, this house is stunned as conceding goals, or lack thereof, was a goal of this Menace team. Set out to allow fewer than 10, now quickly down 2-0. Howard will work the inside. Not before it's taken away. Drennan trying to thread the needle, but turns it over.
Another free t-shirt. Make some noise for a shirt from our friends at Flicks Brewhouse. Movies on tap, small batch beer, free food at Flicks Brewhouse Des Moines. For movie lovers, beer lovers.
And Santafé just controlling this matchup right now, not allowing the Menace to get anything working. But perhaps this will change. McDade sends it over the bar.
What a shot by McDade. This is the best clip and shot we have had all night for the Menace. Working on the right wing, kicks this one up, wrong goalpost. But that is the best I have seen the Menace get a shot off at Ijimaru all night. And already, Santa Fe is already on the offensive again.
Crossing inside and just barely getting his mitts on it was Barry. Moriera will keep it out. Moriera will give it to Howard. Howard has open grass to work with. Diaz on his right side. He'll opt to give it to Hagan. Hagan works back inside, firing away and into the grassy knolls of the Des Moines Menace fan base.
Well, he fired away all right. I mean, this thing flew out of the stadium, and they're getting shots off, but the bad part about getting the shots off is they are not within range, and they're all the way out from the 20-yard line, as this is a football field as well, but for those watching visual, he's kicking it from the 20-yard line. So that's about a 30-yard kick. And for soccer, you want to be within that 20 to 10 yards for good shots, but it just shows how good Ijimaru is.
And we have an injury on the field, as at first glance it looked to be a head injury, and referees or the officials will pause the match if any head contact area is made.
It might be, it looks like that might be Kistman, and that would be very rough for this Santa Fe team who relies so much on him, as he's already done. It is Kistman, and I'm hoping that he is all right.
Again, Kistman scored the second goal of the night in the 35th minute.
To lose a player like him this early in the game, we got quite a bit to go till halftime. I'm wondering if maybe he got some of those pebbles from the turf in his eyes. He had to put a couple eye drops in. I'm hoping that's the case, but it's good to see him up and walking again.
Looks to be all right. As didn't seem there was any malice in that challenge. And Kistman still walking to the center table. Maybe not coming completely out of this match, but official allowing him to come back into the match whenever he's ready. So Santa Fe down to 10 men temporarily. Again, tonight's match is brought to you by Simple Lending, helping fans like you simplify finances and focus on what matters most.
Quite the pause here. There we go. Now we're back.
Drop ball. And now about to enter the 45th minute of this first half. And Santa Fe striking first early in the 4th minute off the penalty kick. Huge decision. And then A costly error by the keeper, Jamie Berry, allows Kissman to finish off a wide open net in the 35th minute. Another injured Wanderers player.
Yeah, that one looks like a leg injury. Hoping he's able to get up.
And they're calling for the trainers immediately.
I'm not quite sure who it was, but I know that Ethan Young was the one that broke it up. It's somebody on that back line that I believe got tangled up. It might have been Ramos, and I think it is Ramos.
It is Duarte Ramos, indeed. 23-year-old in some pain. We're now in added time, but certainly extra time will continue.
Yeah, Ramos able to get up. Obviously walking on that leg, a little tender still. You know, with soccer, whenever you're slide tackling or you get it into a tight-knit group, you're going to bump legs, and sometimes if you get hit on the knee where that nerve is, it's going to tingle, and it's not going to feel fun to walk on. Good to see him up on at his own strength, but nonetheless, the Menace missed another opportunity.
Just as Ramos exits the field, Kissman comes back on the field. Drennan.
The fourth official has indicated at least 6 minutes of extra time.
And 6 minutes of added time. Very lengthy, considering the amount of stoppage we've had. And you'll wonder if the referee will tack on more added time, and the fact that we had stopped for nearly 5 minutes towards the end of that match. So
well, if you're the Menace, you want to capitalize on those extra minutes because they've had opportunities, but they're just not taking advantage of them. And that's kudos to the Santa Fe back line and their goalkeeper.
McIntyre can't get around Ramos, or Lennis for that matter. McDade will settle it down. Schaefer attempting a 1-2 with McDade, but McDade stepping on the ankle of Lennis. He's in some pain.
Yeah, Lennis has been all over the field, and he has not put a quit to anything. Another great look at it here as you're going to see Schaefer looking to set something up, and yeah, Lennis just gets clicked on right there. He's able to get up. And sometimes when you just, you hit the knee at the right angle, it's going to sting. But fortunately, he's able to get up. But an extra 5 minutes for the Menace to work with, and that's going to tick away fast.
A nice play by Drennan off the challenge, and he'll get rewarded for his efforts. Free kick for the Menace. Maybe just a couple more minutes for them to get on the board.
Yeah, Latshaw might need to pull something out of his pocket. They've not really had any shots on goal for a couple minutes now. And with ticking time on the clock, you want to get something, a shot off or something in enemy territory, but we just haven't seen that from this Menace squad, who are just very confused on what to do. Even though the Santa Fe is running the same defense, they are running a 4-3-3, but sometimes you can get confused in your own matter.
Dominique, heavy touch, still fortunate bounce back to him. We'll send it to the back line. Ramos back in the game, in good form. A nice stoppage. Still can't get around the defense. Howard, a nice challenge there, but the officials letting it play on. And Menace sends that out of play for a Menace throw-in.
Yeah, Howard, I cannot tell you how many times that he has had an opportunity to foul or be involved with the foul, but he is one of the players that has been on the ground more almost this game than upright.
McIntyre, throw into Moriera, intercepted. Again, a lot of hard contact throughout this first half. And now Dominique on the ground.
He's been down quite a few times, and little miscue there as we were not set up to kick. As Michael Menace was still getting up. You can tell he's really seems to be battling through it, but I mean, kudos to him because he's had quite the first half, and so has Santafé. We only got a couple more minutes, maybe even a minute left, and if Santafé can tack on a third, it might be time to start worrying if you're Coach Latshaw, because that's kind of an eerie glimpse of what they ended their season on in the playoffs.
Again, Des Moines making the 11th straight postseason appearance last season, but falling 4-2 to Sueño FC, and they're hoping to start off this season right, but now they find themselves in a 2-0 deficit. Last chance of the half per chance. Drennan will just send it to the rooftops, and that will do it for the first half. Tale of two teams. One team can't seem to find themselves in rhythm, but the other has gone on the road and come out swinging. Santafé up 2-0 in the first half, and we'll get back. You're watching Central Iowa Sports Network. Welcome back to halftime. Great Plains Division matchup between the Des Moines Menace and the Santafé Wanderers. Wanderers up 2-0, and it's been a tale of miscues for the Des Moines Menace.
You know, it really has, and here's some halftime highlights, and this was starting off 4 minutes into the game. We had a very decisive call by the ref with Michael Menace on the ground, but then, you know, you set yourself up in those opportunities, you're going to capitalize, and that is exactly what Menace did. Juked out Jamie Berry, and 4 minutes in, Santafé jumps onto the board 1-0, and then we kind of stalled for about 15 to 20 minutes until the Menace finally could get something working down in their territory. And this was a fantastic stop by Ijamadu, who's been kind of the highlight of their defense for Santafé. And then this was the backbreaker as Jamie Berry got caught off guard. And you could see that Menace and this squad, as well as Kistman, have taken advantage of Des Moines.
Yeah, Des Moines, their outlook looks very gray, like the clouds, and we'll come back with more action after this. You're watching Central Iowa Sports Network. Welcome back to Des Moines, Iowa at MediaCom Stadium. Storms might be rolling in, but we're not going to let that stop us. And Des Moines is expected to be a powerhouse. Let's take a look at the power rankings. And Des Moines entered week one, really, of league play, coming in at 8th and still favored to do some damage throughout the season.
Yeah, they were, and obviously 8 is a great spot to be, and they are facing quite a big task at hand. They would have to have one of the best comebacks that they quite possibly would put up this season, sitting at 2-0. But when you look at the conference, obviously Vermont is where you strive to be one day, but sitting at 8 is very, very good, and they've got a lot of work to do. But then a couple other teams in these rankings are playing tonight. We have Ballard versus FC Olympia, and then Laredo's on the road at San Antonio. So different outcomes of those matchups and the one here in Des Moines can possibly, toss up the rankings a little bit or change how some things are sitting. But if the Menace want to at least stay in the top 10 or move up, they are going to have to put on quite a show here in the second half.
Absolutely. Again, the Menace down 2-0 at the half, and it will take some incredible second half magic for them to come back in this one. We'll be right back with second half action right after this. Welcome back to the start of the second half. Des Moines has a tall hill to climb, down 2-0 against the Santafé Wanderers. Again, this is the first matchup and home opener for the Menace in Great Plains Division League play. And both teams having different expectations, but the Menace, definitely a team thought many would have some postseason aspirations, and now they find themselves in a rather large hole here.
Absolutely. And when you're sitting 2-0 and the clouds aren't really helping the whole mood, the whole gray and looming mood, but you're going to have to rely on your captains. You're going to have to rely on Schaefer, McIntyre, and a couple others to really step it up here and put themselves in a position to not only tie this game up, but maybe send it into overtime or, worst case scenario, end with a tie. But if you're Coach Latshaw, I can imagine the locker room was probably a pretty tense feeling, but if you're Coach Flores for Santa Fe, you could not be happier, and for the message for either team, well, it's very different. If you're the Menace, let's step things up and let's get some things going here. For the Wanderers, you could not be any more happy, and I wouldn't be surprised if they stick to what they've continued to do so far.
It's been brilliant so far. They have consistently held that back line and the middle, and then have capitalized on the miscues.
They have, and that's kind of one of the things that I mentioned for this team was, can they, really stand up? Can the defensive back line hold through and true this entire game? And they have done that the first half, but the first half is over. You should consider this game 0-0 and restart your whole process.
The Menace trotting out a pretty similar lineup. Going inside but intercepted, and now Drennan will take care of it. Some trouble here. Gigs it away. Dominique from the arc. Kicked away. Still trouble. Des Moines finally kicks it out. Already Santa Fe on the attack.
I mean, again, Des Moines was just caught off guard, and it looks like Coach Latshaw just sent someone over on the bench to start warming up. Here's another good look at it. Dominique almost had a clear shot. Obviously, a few defenders and McIntyre came through. And then Kissman almost had himself another one. But just the continuous effort has been amazing to watch.
Once more, and finally a card given. And this was a reoccurring theme in the first half. I mean, Evan Howard and Osteen Angel have been going at it the entire game, and the referee obviously frustrated as Angel just standing in the way of the free kick, something you just can't do.
You can't. It's not legal, and Howard did a good job of playing it off and through.
I'd argue it's unsportsmanlike as well.
I would too. It's just not nice. It's not classic. And, good job by Howard of maintaining his composure, because he's been chipping away at a few different players this whole time. We've seen it against Menace and Kissman.
Howard. And a nice deflection. McIntyre heads it towards. And an unfortunate pass by Hagan. Hagan tried to do
a little too much.
Fancy, yeah.
A little too much. A little messy back kick, but you need to get back to basics here. You can't really be doing all the fancy moves. I mean, you're down 2-0. You got to get back to the basics and rework yourself up.
Brennan. McIntyre. And back to Drennan once more. And the Menace Down 2-0 off a penalty kick in the 4th minute. And then in the 34th minute, trouble. And Santafé up 2-0. Ejimalu has been stellar in net so far for the Wanderers. And the Wanderers have one of the better stories in this division, deeply rooted in Kansas City. And their historical narrative dates back to 1995 when the Cadena family first laid the foundation and established as Club de Fútbol Chihuahua. The organization was a grassroots campaign of Hispanic and Latino immigrants arriving in the region from the Santa Fe Trail, and they stylize it without the space between as to not be mistaken from Santa Fe, New Mexico. So
it's great, and it's still a family-run organization to this day. I mean, a few of the family members are coaching staff members, so you love to see it, and the ownership as well. And they have such a deep tie to the Kansas City area, and for the soccer community, it's a great job because they bring in immigrant players, but they do a great job, like the Menace, of bringing in the local talent that you know can really set yourself up on the right trajectory, and that has been proven time and time again this evening so far.
For 20 years, Santa Fe was in the Kansas City Adult League and then made the jump to the UPSL. And 2025 entered USL League 2 for the first time. And again, as mentioned earlier, went 4-7-1. Didn't qualify, but still finished the season strong. Now they are also a team of new beginnings. It's their first season in Olathe, Kansas, moving from Kansas City. However, their headquarters still based in Kansas City, as the owner and club administrator, Cardenia Lorenzo, has made an effort to keep the club in Kansas City. And so all the youth camps and clubs are still in Kansas City, as well as their community efforts. Just a lot of these special stories sprinkled around through USL League 2. This is a really nice league.
It's the beauty of the league. Every team has their own perk or story, and that's what makes them individually fantastic.
Nearly taken away. Drennan does take it away. And another miscue. And off the right side, Angel all alone. Barry makes the save, but it dribbles past him. And Santa Fe has stunned this Des Moines crowd. Antonio Muica.
Muica on a breakaway again. That is the second time Jamie Berry has been caught lacking in the back end. He stops it, there's just not enough force to stop it, and you're getting into the point now where you're going to see the Menace go all out. You're going to have to maybe take out your starters and put in a couple other players to get them some playing time. But talk about an upset or wanting to prove what your club is all about. This is one of the greatest underdog mentalities you'll see in this league. We saw Capital City, they're a brand new club as well. They got blown out the gates 5-0 last week. This Santa Fe team, I mean, they look like they're ready for tournament play almost.
This crowd is stunned, as you can see it drawn on the players' faces. They're not pleased and almost shocked at the result of what they are seeing.
Think about it. You prep all off season. You open last week. Hopes are high. You're 5-0 start, and Latshaw's confident in this group. But, and then another thing was only letting up 10 goals all season. They are approaching the halfway point of where they don't even want to be. and you've still got quite a few games left on your schedule. I mean, this is only the first one of the season. You've still got over 10 games to play, and your mark is only 10 goals allowed. I mean, they're going to have to dig deep to bounce back after this one.
This is also a team that they will face again twice, and they'll head to Olathe on June 10th at Wednesday, and then another matchup here on July 3rd. Another Friday night matchup, but now the pressure is on the Menace to show at least some good form. It's been all Santafé, mostly off the miscues, and again it was a miscue off Drennan and a turnover. And just now another turnover.
You know, going back on what you said, playing them 2 more times. Last season, the Menace went 3-0 against Santa Fe. They outscored them 10-4, and one of the question marks that I had for the Menace was, can they continue that dominance and consistency? It seems like Santa Fe not only went out and grabbed the right players, but they've got the right mindset. I mean, they come into this one, you know, 3-0 against an opponent is something to hold your head on high. But they're going to break that mark, and they're going to set a new standard that this is not a game that you circle on your calendar as a walk in the park. This is going to be a team that you're going to have to really game plan for and take serious.
Ijumalu. Give it to Oika, but batted away. Promising. Takes the turn and fouled very hard in the arc. And a yellow card awarded and sent off. It is his second.
Well, that was Ramos guilty. And for the Menace, this is the best opportunity you're going to have all night. They had one in the first half, but here's another great look at it. There's Ramos working hard, and he definitely a close one, but the Menace get a break.
This is definitely one of those not allowing a clear goal-scoring opportunity, and I think that was ultimately the decision after he makes the turn and he's all alone.
Absolutely, and that's how this game started. You know, the Menace were guilty of that, and Santa Fe capitalized, and when I looked right over to the bench for when that occurred, Coach Flores was not happy with the call, but nonetheless, it's how the game started off. So if you're the Menace and you really want to try and pull off a miracle comeback for this 515 crowd tonight, this is your starting point, and this is the best opportunity they've had to score all night.
It's got to start now.
It's got to start somewhere.
And in the 56th minute, most dangerous opportunity right inside the arc, just mere feet from possibly getting a penalty, but now Howard will take this free kick. Evan Howard, the English native from Newcastle.
Yeah, Howard's been on the ground a lot. He's been battling a lot of tough one-on-ones this evening. And he scored a headbutter against the Capital City Roots last week. The last goal scored. Can this be the first goal scored for the Menace in the first matchup? And Santa Fe still setting up the right defense that they want. It's all about balancing and putting the right size. So not only can the ball squeeze through, but you're really taking up any gaps. But one thing we did see last week, not a lot of viewers might know, the Menace did a play where they kicked it off a defender, it bounced off, and then they kicked it back into the net. So could this be something Latshaw pulls out of his pocket? Or did they go and let Howard try and take this one at the right angle against Ijumaru, who's one of the best goalkeepers in this division and one of the more veteran players of this Wanderer club?
From 20 feet out, Evan Howard awaiting his kick as Chafik El Idrisi will come in for Michael Menace. Howard takes a 1-2. It's deflected off of Diaz. McIntyre hounded by 2 players. Danger possibly over. A nice job by Santafé, but still in possession are the Menace.
Yeah, that was another design play. Latshaw's got a lot of those to pull out of his pocket. This one he doesn't kick it off a defender, but instead uses one of his own players, passes it to Diaz, Howard, and they tried setting up something, but it looks like Coach Flores was ready for that.
And a Mordiera, and here, just barely missing the end line was Hagen. Ran out of real estate. And a corner for the Menace.
Will want that one back. Thought this was going to be the first breakaway point they've had. Oh, he just missed. He was kind of confused of where he was at almost. Man, he's going to want that one back because he had an angle.
And opting to short pass. Ijumaru defends it off near the post, and the Menace will kick once more.
Ijumaru, I mean, you can't say anything more about him. I mean, he's been pressured this second half. Can he do it again?
Two-handed punch. Diaz awaiting. He'll send it wide. McDade will send it in. Howard. And the header goes way up in the air easily for Ijumaru.
Ijumaru, I mean, he's making his presence known. He does something that I've seen quite a lot of players do. There's a goalkeeper that played for Manchester United, Wayne Rooney. He had this method of punching the ball in the air, and it was, a lot of people at the time had not seen that yet, but he was a big guy, and so is Ijumaru. And that just shows, you know, the different ways he can prevent goals. I mean, he's already had multiple saves tonight and kind of an interesting pro comp, but, you know, if you're going to compare him to a Hall of Fame soccer player at Manchester United, I mean, I'd take it and run.
And mistiming the run there, Mordiera. And time is ticking now in the 60th minute. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Simple Lending, where smarter financial solutions help you take control and move forward with confidence.
Taking a look over on the sideline, you can see that Coach Latshaw is starting to warm up some of those backup players, and, you know, we don't know the amount of extra time we're going to get, but we've only got a little less than half an hour.
Howard almost had Hagen cutting inside, but Ijumaru playing with his foot a bit and will finally take care of the ball. 61 minutes elapsed in this first matchup between the Menace and the Wanderers. Again, 3-0. A massive decision in the 4th minute. Awarded a penalty kick, and Lennis drilled it in, and then a costly error by Kissman in the 35th, and another miscue allowed Moika to score. And we are at a 3-0 matchup, and the story of the first half has continued into the second.
It has, and it's just been a complete onslaught of doing what they've been doing all game. Now, obviously, in the past couple minutes, they've switched from, you know, offensive push to really setting up and relying on their back defenders in Ijumaru, who have been proving this second half that they're not going to let anything get into the net tonight. But they've been more on a defensive push now, but now they're starting to show that they might move a little back into that offensive game plan.
Barry will take it in and give it to his captain. Schaefer finds McDade, and it's drilled away. Interesting, I guess McDade caught a piece of a Wanderers player. Looks like Munoz he caught a piece of, and now Santafé with possession.
Yeah, if Santafé adds one more on, you can put this one in the wraps. I mean, down 4 with only, 17 to go. Well, more of 27. Plus added time, you're not sure yet, but another look at it here. Looks like we're going to get some subs for the Menace, as they just know that this one might be out of reach, so got to get a couple different players in there.
Evan Howard coming out.
Berger and Nusu come in. One other sneaked in there. I wasn't sure. I think it might have been Cole Schrade that might have jumped in.
Regardless, a whole array of Menace players.
Quite a few of them.
Reserves coming in. And was indeed Trage coming in. Drake, native from Urbandale, Iowa.
Limited playing time for him, but
did appear in the friendly.
Yeah, he did appear in the friendly, and now quite a few of these guys are going to get some playing time. That, obviously you're down 3-0, but this is still playing time to really show Lapshaw what you've got and maybe earn some playing time in week 2, obviously, when they are heading down to Peoria, which will be a very difficult matchup, to say the least, if this is how they are starting their season.
Ordiera bends it in, punched away. And here comes the Wanderers on the counterattack. And hard challenge there by Moriera. In some pain is Kissman. And again, I'd like to mention they are playing with 10 players, but they're still competing very hard. Here's the last shot and punch save by Ijumaru. Ijumaru's been working the double punch save.
He's really been working the double punch, a little John Cena action, but you can tell that he is really confident in his doings, and looks like we're going to get a couple different players to come in for Santa Fe, as they are confident that this one's closed. Ferdinand Hagen and Zachary Peterson, both players that are, when I was looking over it, so Peterson, he is from Olathe, Kansas, so he's very familiar with this team and staff. And then obviously Ferdinand Hagen, he is from Berlin, Germany. He went to Concordia for 2 seasons. He started there both years, 4 goals, and had a 667 shot on goal percentage. So definitely players that you're not hesitant to throw in no matter what, but you can tell that Coach Flores has locked this one up, and he's going to get some guys some playing time.
McDade work the right side. Give it back to Revelli. Schrage gets past Kipnusu. Again, the Menace have the man advantage, but have still not been able to find many opportunities. Again, it's still early in this game with 10 men versus 11. It makes a 3-0 deficit not out of the question to come back, but it's still very challenging as this one's crossed in and headed away. And sent out of bounds.
It's definitely not out of question, but it would be very impressive to do. I'd have to check the history books for the Menace, but it's probably got to be one of the better comebacks in their history.
McDade comes in to support. Ravelli working the middle. Will find Howard. Howard will circle around and find Schaefer. Schaefer on the one-on-one. Mistimed. The challenge was Drennan, and a foul given. And this Menace team still struggling to find their way.
They haven't really found a way. They've been kind of etching their way into the game, but when you're still trying to etch your way into the game with the 70-minute mark, that is not going to win you many ball games. As quite the toss-up there.
Ravelli really going up
Ravelli
for it.
A little sky high there.
And Kipman was under him. And Kissman really had to give him some room to work with, but decided to really get in this cylinder.
Yeah, I guess Ravelli just wanted to get up there. I mean, both of them not too happy about it, obviously. I
wouldn't be too happy if man fell on top of me.
I agree, yeah.
Number 7, Alcides Diaz. Number 18.
Carlson gives it back to Schaefer, now back to him, and challenged up. This might, and very lucky that this is not a booking. A very hard challenge.
Yeah, here's another great look at it. Well, the Menace set it up over the middle, and there's another foul. It's going to be on Peterson. Recently just came in.
Again, Peterson very lucky. Now Kipman holding his right ankle. Kissman really has been involved in quite the few physical plays in the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, he's been all over the place, and I can guarantee you that Coach Flores might take him out soon, but he's been down on the ground a couple times. He should be good. Gave the thumbs up there. That's good to see. Probably just had a little run in, bang up, but Moreira is going to have an opportunity here to maybe put them in a position, well, Moreira or Drennan. Drennan came in a while ago, and he has not left since.
Again, the Menace had a promising opportunity at the arc, but just got away from them. Now, down a man. The Menace have the opportunity with the advantage of having one player open in the box. Moreira with his hand up, just waiting for the referee to start play. Moreira's kick goes wide. Could not find Evan Howard.
Yeah, he missed him by about the whole back end, 10 yards to be exact. This one really wasn't that close. Not sure if he was trying to set it up to the corner for Howard, but nonetheless, another missed opportunity. That's kind of been the story of the night. Missed opportunities for the Menace.
A series of headers. Who wants it? Now Schaefer decides he wants it. Schrage in control. Ravelli making his way up. Schaefer blows by a defender. Crosses it in. Howard! Header goes just high. Possibly their best one of their better opportunities of the night.
It was another good look at it here. That's one of the best plays and one of the only plays I've seen out of Schaefer tonight. He disappeared and Howard just a bit too high. And again, just not capitalizing on those opportunities like the Wanderers have. And 72 minutes left, 72 minutes through the game, and we're running low on time for the Menace to even remotely make a chance. A couple new players coming in for the Menace.
Guardiera will exit. And now entering into play is another Menace player. And Josh Lucas is the sub.
It's going to be a Radakunda and Sodia, both of which played in that friendly matchup. So Radakunda does have some experience playing even last year, but Sodia, he has limited playing time. So obviously about half the starting lineup out currently right now for the Menace is rotational players. But they are still trying their best.
73rd minute. A hard push. Free kick awarded. Poliski is the offender. Ball bouncing around in the box. Soya settles it down. Now out wide. Rojas. Stolen away. Hard tackle by the captain to keep possession with the Menace. Kipnusu fouled, but no call. Irdakunda battling for it. Howard dribbling away, and once more this nifty defense for the Wanderers. Just can't get anything by them, even with the man advantage for the Menace.
Shafiq El Idrisi, he is another sub that we missed coming in. And another foul by the Menace, and this one is down in their territory, so we haven't seen Santafé make a push yet. But Theo Drennan's foul there, maybe this could be an opportunity for Santafé to put some more salt into the wound that continues to grow throughout this game.
Schrage comes away with it, but headed away by Angel. Again, Santafé down a man after a yellow card to Duarte Ramos. And yet the Menace still find themselves having trouble finding the interior. Irdakunda. Give to Drennan. Blocked away in a corner for the Menace.
I know they have backups in the back line, but I cannot say more enough about how well conditioned and polished the back end of this defense is for the Wanderers. I mean, they are relentless. They stay with anybody nearing the goal. And anytime a corner kicks like that or penalty kicks, I mean, they're kicked off and then the Menace has to reset up their offense.
Howard. Soida's kick is wide. And not sure how many opportunities are left for the Menace, as they still find themselves down 3. Even the tall task of hoping to come away with a point and drawing this game, still such a hefty goal.
Even putting a point on the board really doesn't show much, considering for those that are watching the game, the score tells a different story.
And nearly finding Kipnusu there. Taking a touch and upper 90. Brilliant. Brilliant strike from Evan Carlson, the Drake native, pumping his fists.
Well, they needed this one bad. Talk about a boost of energy inside of MediaCom. Upper 90, bam, right in the top left. Carlson gets home, and that is the energy that this crowd, they've desperately been looking for. 3-1. Now you've still got 2 to go, but they just needed that so bad, and you're down 2, still a lot of work to go.
Booking coming here for Kipnusu.
All right, it's my favorite announcement of the night to make with that goal. Another 420.
Now the 3 goals have been answered off the foot
And the Animal Rescue League
of Carlson. Brilliant strike. And
together, but it marries in your Menace.
with just 12 minutes plus extra time, they find themselves down 2. Crazier things have happened.
You have seen it, and soccer's one of those games where the switch can be flipped at any time. Obviously, you've got 2 scores to work with, but, you know, maybe that is something that the Menace have, they've just been such lacking all game, and I can't be more impressed with how they responded, finally getting home after so many attempts. But this crowd desperately needed that one.
Here, Dacunda can't get by the defender. Drennan lets it go for his teammate. It's just now 80 minutes elapsed in this matchup. Drennan, one-on-one opportunity, trying to get past. Couldn't quite get it under his grasp. Now Drennan. Soida to Howard. Tried to get a little fancy there, but nothing working.
If the Menace could somehow find a way to score a goal in the next 5 minutes, with the added time put on the board, there is a chance. But they've got to play this really smart, and they've got to take advantage of any time they are down anywhere near the penalty box. I mean, you can't miss opportunities. The more opportunities you miss, the less that are going to come by.
Wanderers player down on the ground. It seems to be all right. Tonight's match is presented by Simple Lending, empowering your financial journey with simple, thoughtful solutions designed for real life. Fans a lot more noisy. So you can sense the urgency. The Menace with the man advantage. Now with 9 minutes and some change left, can they erase this deficit and hope to come away with the point? Schaefer sends it in off a Wanderers player, and a corner for the Menace. The captain will take it.
This is a big opportunity. You have to get home and find a corner pocket. Headbutt this in. I mean, this is very critical for the Menace.
Winding in, and too much bend, and it appears Ijumaru is injured on that play, holding his knee.
Yeah, this is the last person you want to see down, especially for Coach Flores. This is the heart and soul of your defense, holding that right leg.
And Howard inquiring about the time wasting. Referee assuring him that this will certainly be added into the extra time. Wanderers doing all they can, obviously, to waste the time away. Any more time wasting, the bookings may come out.
Well, Ijumatu getting banged up there. Maybe his lack of movement and being able to move inside the box could help the Menace. Not saying that, getting an injury, letting there be an injury helps, but if they can capitalize on another offensive break here, they could put themselves in a good position to come back in this matchup after being down for so long, 3-0.
Schaefer showing off his skill set. Kicked away for a corner, or rather a throw-in. My apologies. Howard will give it back to Schaefer. This sets up Howard for a cross-in. Couldn't get it, just out of reach. Schrage trying to work it back inside. Rojas, and way overhead, hits the scoreboard. Now 6 minutes left in the 90 minutes of play, plus added time.
Well, they're taking some shots, and they're going to have to start taking more and more, depending, it doesn't matter how far out they are, but you can tell that, we talked about it beforehand, that there were some storms in the area, north and south, and you could tell with the wind that they're starting to blow in, and with added time, it's going to get a little nippy out there.
Yeah, storms. Hopefully will stay missing us and keep this action going. Howard being hounded, and another booking coming. El Idrisi earning himself a yellow. Howard has been just killed throughout this entire game.
He has been battling up and downs, and he's been going up and down all game, and he's really stuck. He's one of the only players that has not come out of the lineup tonight. He has been in there through and through, and
you could see his efforts throughout the entire game. You could
definitely see the efforts, and that's needed. And this is another moment where if Theo Drennan can set this up properly and you get within one, you have a shot. I mean, you have a really good shot only being down one, but here we go.
Menace need this one, but Ijumatu carefully secures it, and the Menace coming right back. Ravelli's right there. Rojas taking it away, and off the crossbar. Nearly drew within one.
This is as close as it gets, and Ijumatu went all out for this one. This shot is going in somehow from that far out if Ijumatu doesn't even come close to that. Just a bit high, but you could have maybe hit the bottom of the crossbar. But what an effort.
Here comes Drennan off the challenge. He wins it. Drennan looking for a teammate. It goes wide. Throw in for the Menace. Carlson throws it in. Working back inside, headed away. Iridakunda lets it go away for a corner. Menace need to hustle now. 86 minute. Wind is blowing the corner flags away.
I can see some rain starting to come down out there, so obviously the weather is going to start playing into fact. And it is really windy. I mean, you could see some of the flags across. That might change the direction of how the ball travels. So the Menace are going to have to keep this ball low. You can see those goals in the back there. They look like they're getting ready to blow up and away.
Absolutely. The Flags are flying, and the supporters holding down their own flags with all their might. Can the Menace storm back? Winning the challenge is the Menace, and now coming off the attack, Schaefer will send it into Iridakunda. Loses control and is sent away. 88th minute. The elements coming into effect, hoping that the lightning stays out of the area.
Yeah, I just saw lightning off to the right, so I'm really hoping that the refs let this one roll through. But the Menace really need to get a little bit of bolt of energy here and try and get this within one.
Rojas wins his battle, trying to cross it inside, and he finally does. Bicycle kept attempt, and Ravelli blocked away, but he is offside.
Well, this is a great effort. Offside, unfortunately, but the Menace are doing such a fantastic job. Another look at it here. I mean, he tried. I mean, he laid his whole body out on the line, but coming up on that 90-minute mark and whatever added time left, you're getting into desperation mode now for the Menace.
Kipnusu trying to get to that ball, but another corner for the Menace now in the final minute of full time. Menace absolutely need this one.
They do. If they are not able to capitalize on this one, I wouldn't be surprised if Santafé just pushes one out.
And Olympico! My goodness! Insanity. The wind played a role and puts it in the net in the 89th minute. Life at Mediacom Stadium.
If there is no wind, this ball does not go in. Look at the flag. Look at the flag right here. That wind pushed that ball about 10 feet in. I don't even see pros do that with the wind. That is fantastic. You're within one now. Don't know how much added time we have, but there is a serious possibility that the Menace could pull off a absolutely, and you see all the coaching papers flying away. But the wind, and you can tell the weather is a huge effect now. I mean, everybody's having to hold everything down.
The wind blowing past the ball, and Santafé not playing it off the center line and kicking it away. Surprised the card does not come out for time wasting. Again, 3-2 in the 90th minute. Certainly will be plenty of extra time.
I'm still amazed by that shot. I mean, that was just, I've never seen that before. I mean, I've done it when playing FIFA, but I've never done it in real life or seen it.
Last chance for the Menace. Carlson sends it up just away from Howard. The wind, again, playing such a possibility, and Ijimadu maybe conveniently finding himself on the ground with a cramp. And the Menace fans showing their frustration.
Well, for the Menace, there could be some shots where you can take long range that the wind is a factor and throws Ijimadu off. Obviously, we saw that with the corner kick. Anything's on the table here. I mean, when you're down one and you need anything to get going to tie this game, as the weather is, I mean, the wind is really picking up here, and you can see
the wind blowing some of the bench coverings from Drake University.
They're going to have to invest in some new ones because those are going to blow all the way down, and you can see the lightning way off in the distance, really hoping that it can hold off for a few more minutes.
Right now, lightning in the southern part towards Indianola area, hoping to stay a few miles away from this area in the Drake neighborhood. Again, a lot of time wasted by Santafé doing a brilliant job.
Ever since some of the rotational backups came in, it's weird to say, but it almost caught Santa Fe off guard. I mean, they were expecting 3-0. This one was wrapped in the books.
The wind kills that shot. It goes wide. Throw in for the Menace.
Yeah, everything's going to have to stay low. I mean, you just can't really afford to send anything up.
Schaefer. Irdakunda. Miscommunication with Kipnusu. And a goal kick for Santa Fe. Not sure how much time left.
Probably got about 2 or 3 minutes left in gameplay total. So the Menace are really going to have to dig deep here. I mean, you've only got a couple possible opportunities offensively.
Ends up in the seated area. Menace have to hustle. Drennan will take it up the middle. Again, Menace with the man advantage. A yellow card and another yellow card awarded to Huarte Ramos. Shot goes wide off of Howard.
And Howard was caught off by that one. He was in the right spot with the wind, but the wind is still going to play a factor and even fool you as it fooled Ijimadu earlier on the corner kick.
Wind howling through Mediacom Stadium. And a lot of people have already headed for shelter from the wind. And that kills that goal kick, and it's given possession to the Menace. Schaefer trying to give it to Irdakunda, and the Wanderers toss it out, but it comes right back.
Without the wind, that's going into the second deck almost here. But with the wind, that blew it about 30 yards in.
Ravelli to Carlson, mistimed the 1-2 opportunity. Wanderers kicking it out. The wind keeps it in. Last chance. Carlson, Kipnusu gets away and kicking it out. The Wanderers. Possibly the last chance. Drennan gets away, and this might do it. Goal kick awarded.
That quite possibly could have been the last opportunity we see for the Menace. Now this is going to be a kick. If Santa Fe plays it right, this game will be over.
Schrage gathers it. Maybe one last hope for the Menace. Crosses it in. Drilled out of the stadium. Possibly accounting for the lots of time wasting and a hard challenge there, but a goal kick awarded nonetheless. Unfortunate for the Menace.
Yeah, here's another look at it. A great individual effort, but unfortunately it's going to be a goal kick.
Ball goes way out of play. I believe Latshaw gives it back to his team off the bench. Carlson, Howard rather, working for it. And full time has been called. Players collapsing to their feet as the Wanderers did all they could to fend off a heroic effort from the Menace, but that effort was not enough today as Santa Fe holds on 3-2 in full time.
Santa Fe came in to do two things. This was an opportunity to showcase and build the club's identity in a new pro league. Check. They came into this game, can their defense hold up? Check. And most importantly, can you handle being an underdog on the road? They did that, and they came in and upset a top 10 team sitting at number 8. Now for the Menace, this loss, it might hurt them in the rankings depending on how other games matched up. But nonetheless, Coach Flores and this Santa Fe squad is going to be a team that you've really got to keep an eye on throughout this season. To come here, first game of the season in a new stadium, a new environment for them and the Menace, and to win, you could not ask for a better start to your season if you're Santa Fe and Coach Flores.
And Santa Fe walks away with 3 points. They'll face the Ambush at home on next Saturday. As for the Menace, they have a challenging opponent ahead, going at Peoria City Saturday, May 23rd. And Des Moines now at the bottom of the table. They'll hope to find their form throughout the season. Well, for Kellen Tosh, I'm Henry Gonzalez saying so long from MediaCom Stadium, where the final score in this one are the Santa Fe Wanderers 3, the Des Moines Menace 2. This has been a presentation of Central Iowa Sports Network.